Well, the census is hiring. We've been telling you that for a while now. Thousands of part-time jobs coming to our state to get that population count done. But as those seasonal jobs pop up, so do the scammers. Colton Schoen has more in this week's 4 Investigates Alert.
It's that time again. Every 10 years, the U.S. government does a population count, sending you a questionnaire to fill out. It asks you how many people live in your home, whether you rent or own, your race and ethnicity. But many people don't fill them out and send them back. And that's why the U.S. Census Bureau is hiring.
We have over 500,000 positions for census takers that we are going to fill for the 2020 census.
Here in New Mexico, they're looking for 3,500 census takers. Pay in Albuquerque is $15.50 an hour. While several legitimate hiring fairs are popping up across the state, you might be solicited online or in person by someone posing to work with the census, all in an effort to get your personal information, including social security number, name, and address.
How do we know that we're going to have these people apply to a legitimate source and not someone who's just collecting information?
The Census Bureau has spent an inordinate amount of time doing research on IT and cybersecurity to make it a safe and secure process. But the 2020 census.gov/jobs website is where we really want people to go and to apply and to get information about the census.
She says at the website you can also find out about official hiring events and see contact information for local offices. Starting next spring, census workers will come out to your neighborhood and knock on your door if you didn't fill out those questionnaires. So how do you tell if they're the real deal? Also, we live in an age of extreme caution. People don't even answer their phones if it's from a number we don't recognize. So what about a stranger knocking on the door? A quick search of the popular site Nextdoor shows many folks posting about suspicious people knocking on their doors.
We certainly have hiring requirements for our applicants. When they do show up at a person's door, again, they're going to have a census-issued ID badge that will show their picture as well as an expiration date. They're going to have a device in which they're collecting the information that will contain census logo and information as well as a census bag.
Again, census officials say workers will have a badge with them, but they'll also stick to certain questions. They're not going to ask you for your full social security number, bank account information, monetary donations, or even your mother's maiden name. All right, so here are the big takeaways. To apply for jobs, you can do it online at 2020census.gov and check out official hiring events on that website. Also, make sure to fill out the census questionnaires that get sent to you because that'll help you avoid that census taker visit later on. Another thing happening this year is you can actually fill out the census questionnaire online, so that is a new option for you. With this 4 Investigates Alert, I'm Colton Schoen, KOB4.